It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
And I am Mark Daniels, filling in for Phil on this marvelous Monday.
Marvelous Monday
Yes.
indeed. A pleasure to have Mark in studio with me, and of course a pleasure to be back with you. It's been about 2 weeks since I've seen you, and so it's always good to be home right here.
Welcome
at Bahamas
back.
Sunrise.
We thought we wasn't going to get you back.
Yay, that's what y'all thought, eh, Mark?
All over the world, traveling and seeing and doing. And, we were chatting before we came on air, and I know you've traveled a lot in your life, and I asked, out of all the places you've been and you travel, when you return home, what's the thing that you think of? What's the thing that you love most about our country?
Yeah, I think for me that this is home. I've had the privilege of traveling to over about 30 countries now. I've been to the continent of Africa, done extensive travel throughout Asia and Europe, and the Bahamas, we have a ways to go in terms of certain things. So we could recycle better. We could organize ourselves more effectively in making sure that our government systems are a bit more accountable in the way that our laws are set. And so the little things like that we can work on. But boy, Mark, every time I travel, for as beautiful as the world is, for as amazing as it is to see waterfalls and mountains and cliffs and to see the structures that man have created. I was in Singapore and just looking at the way they've turned their city into a garden city, and so their structures are all beautiful, and it's a city, but there are flowers everywhere, and there are these multicultures that are living together. There are Chinese, and there are Malaysians, and they're all together, Muslims and Christians and Hindus, operating and working as one. It is a beautiful thing to see, but nothing is as beautiful as this country. First of all,
Amen.
the beaches nowhere else compare, right, from a physical perspective, but just in terms of the way that we've been able to coordinate ourselves, being a small population, and we've done well. We've done extremely well. And so for me, it's always a matter of just gratitude and being so grateful to be able to come to a place like this, to call it home. And certainly in this circumstance, having traveled post-hurricane, for me, it was a reminder that I would really hope that we're doing our part in terms of climate change, because I would hate to have to leave this place because I had to, because it really is the best country on earth, period.
From what you're saying, if the sea levels rise, I'm clinging on to the last rock available. I'm getting nowhere. It's my Bahamas and your Bahamas, and we can fix it together. All right.
Oh, well, that's a perfect way to get the show started. Always a pleasure to have Mark with us. He's always so brilliant, but yet so funny and engaging, and so it's always a good time. We've got a great show lined up for you this morning, so we're happy that you tuned in.
Yeah, so we have the Ministry of Education here to tell us about the Bahamas High School Diploma, and Junior Achievement Bahamas is here to tell us about their upcoming registration and orientation. And also, September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, so we'll find out more about that condition on our show this morning.
All of that ahead, and we've got more. The Bahamas Development Bank is back. You might remember that they were with us early in the year talking about their 40th anniversary celebrations. Well, they've taken the time now to create a scholarship program, so we're going to learn about that this morning. Looking forward to that. And Gandhi Pinder might have been here while I was out. Of course, you know Gandhi very well from Gilgand Holdings, in addition to being with us at Bahamas at Sunrise. And Gilgand Holdings holds Bamboo Shack, which we all love, right? National Bahamian food. And of course, they also got Sapodilla Restaurant. So they're going to be talking to us about some promotions that they'll be doing. So we got all of that ahead and much more. But before we get into any of that, Jerry, the storm was supposed to make its way to the southern Bahamas.
Okay. Tell Jerry to chase Tom going north. So Tom and Jerry, y'all go north.
Y'all go north, yeah. And in addition to that, I think they're supposed to be going back to Bermuda, which got hit recently as well. So yeah, sending love out to our friends and family in Bermuda. But we're going to find out what's happening with the weather generally with our first look at weather and Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Star. Good morning, Bahamas. The tropics later on. And the first look at weather sunrise. We do have a lingering trough across the central Bahamas, and that's going to trigger off pockets of showers and thunderstorms across the central and southeastern islands, high north of the island, a little bit across the islands, and so we can have improving weather across the northwest Bahamas over the next couple of days. In your weather today, we're looking at variable cloudiness and breezy over the northwest Bahamas, mostly cloudy with a few showers, isolated thunderstorms across the central and southeastern islands, high temperature reaching 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a few showers, isolated thunderstorms across the northwest Bahamas, continuing cloudy with showers and thunderstorms across the central and southeastern islands. Your low temperature going down to 78 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 81 and 78. In Cuba, in Jamaica 81 and 74. In Trinidad 82 and 78. And the Turks and Caicos Islands 89 and 77. Across North America, Atlanta 91 and 62. In Raleigh 89 and 62. In Miami 86 and 78. Dallas, Texas 91 and 74. And Toronto, Canada 71 and 60. As we go through the week, we're going to have those partly sunny skies across the northwest Bahamas, but still variable cloudy with showers and possible thunderstorms across the central and southeastern islands into about Wednesday. And then by late week, we expect improvement across all the islands, but by end of the week, we expect some more showers and thunderstorms possible as we watch Tropical Storm Karen. That puts it up on your first look at weather sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. Well, as a part of their 40th anniversary celebrations, the Bahamas Development Bank has launched the Warren Logan Roll Apprenticeship Program to award a scholarship to a deserving student in honor of its founding managing director. Here to talk with us about it, we're very happy to welcome Dave Smith. He's the managing director at BDB, and he's brought with him Warren L. Roll, who's the former managing director of the Bahamas Development Bank. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Good morning and welcome.
A pleasure to have you with us, both of you. This is certainly a wonderful time. I remember when you guys were with us earlier in the year and talking about the celebrations, and now we're at this space where you're launching this program. So talk to me, Mr. Smith, about why you guys thought this was the time to launch a program like this.
Well, we thought it was a great idea to pretty much conclude the 40th anniversary celebrations. And as we gave thought to it, we said, well, we needed to recognize and honor someone who made a significant contribution to the bank. Mm-hmm. And so it was really unanimous decision that this should be Mr. Roll's time. And so we launched the Warren Roll Apprenticeship Program.
Okay. Warren Roll Apprenticeship Program, and certainly this is how we pay roses to those who are living, right? And certainly we're very happy that Mr. Roll has joined us this morning. Mr. Roll, that must have been a phenomenal task to be the first managing director of the Bahamas Development Bank. Talk to me about that experience of getting the bank established and making sure that things were functioning smoothly.
Yes, thank you. Going back quite a few years now, the Bahamas had just become an independent nation back in '73, and part of the job of establishing the independent countries was to establish institutions within those new countries that would help facilitate the growth, the development, and support of those countries. One of those things is a source of funding for local personnel. At that time, commercial banks were very loath to lend money for certain kinds of activities. For example, fishing and farming and light industry, that sort of thing, right? And so the Development Bank was instituted to help facilitate this part of the country's growth. I mean, after all, we've got to learn to feed ourselves and so on and so forth. And we wanted our people to get into the, okay? And so I was asked to take on the job of working along with a team to help establish the Bahamas Development Bank. I was working at the central bank at the time, and after 4 years there, I decided to launch out and take this opportunity that is being presented.
Okay. And what do you think has been for you the proudest moment in your career with the Bahamas Development Bank?
Well, there were quite a few proud moments. This one is one of them.
Okay, certainly. And I would hope that the students that would take on this apprenticeship would certainly be an example of the kind of man that he was. Someone that was obviously very courageous to take on a challenge like this, and then someone that was hardworking, because in order to see it come to this place, it would have taken lots of time. Kind of talk to me about the requirements that you're looking for in these people that would be applying for the apprenticeship program.
Well, typically it's geared toward young persons. Having done the program at several institutions prior, certainly the benefit is there for young persons who are academically able,
Okay.
but also might have additional challenges.
Okay.
And so we also look at not just academics, but if this individual is not given the kind of opportunity afforded by the Warren Roll Apprenticeship Program, maybe they would be derailed.
Right.
So that's part of the criteria.
Okay.
Maintaining a specific GPA during their course of study at UB, and then secondly, also working a certain number of hours during their course of study, and then also during summer breaks in various departments within the Bahamas Development Bank. And so at the end of it, we're confident, having seen some of the successes of apprentices in the past, we're confident that they would be able to make a value contribution to the country.
All right, and then that sounds, I think, like quite a few young people I know at the University of the Bahamas who really have bright futures ahead of them if they could have access to the right sorts of opportunities. How do they apply for the program? Is it still open for application?
Well, actually, we had extended the application time period until the 15th of September. So
Okay.
now we're in the process of screening,
Okay.
and then we would narrow it down to the final 3 potential apprentices,
Okay.
and then make a decision at that particular point.
All right, and do you think that this is something that you guys will continue after this year, or you'll just have to kind of see how that works out?
Well, certainly it's in my mind that it should continue, given
Okay.
that it's such a worthy undertaking, certainly representing Mr. Roll and his contribution, and so it's hoped that it will continue even after I've moved on.
Right, right. So, Mr. Rowe, this is an interesting career path, and so many young people have so many opportunities in front of them today to study more things than they have before. Why do you think it is that accounting, economics, and finance, which is what this application was open for, are still good courses of study for our young people to pursue?
Well, those subjects give you a broad range of information that one needs in the area of business.
Okay.
Economics, in the economic studies, you get a bit of accounting. In accounting studies, you get a bit of economics, and so on and so forth. So there's a cross-fertilization there.
Right.
And so those subjects chosen by the bank are excellent ones to focus on. And I must say that I'm very proud that Dave and those have selected the bank to assist in, making this opportunity available to our young people.
Certainly.
It makes the next development bank manager down the road to feel easier to find.
Yeah, certainly.
Certainly.
Certainly. Before we leave, Mr. Rowe, because it really is a privilege for us to have you with us and to kind of be recording a significant person in our Bahamian history as somebody would have contributed to our development bank. Are there any final words that you wish to share with our audience this morning about the bank or about anything in general?
Well, I would simply like to once again congratulate Dave and his team for coming up with the idea of an apprenticeship program. I'd like to encourage the government to make a better use of the development bank, as good a use as possible of the development bank, and to encourage the youngsters to go after their career full force.
Full force. I love that. That's the perfect way to end. That full force. That's the way we got to be doing things. Whatever it is that we find to do, we ought to do it with all our might. And
Absolutely.
So I thank you for those words this morning. Thank you for coming and sharing with us, and certainly wishing you all the best with the apprenticeship program and hoping that it will continue. The Bahamas Development Bank is critical, I think, as we continue to talk about the development of our nation and where we're moving forward. So this is good to see. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you too.
You're welcome.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence, every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want first response on your side, call 32-FIRST or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
Do you want to know more about the scriptures, the early Christian church, its teachings, suffering, other religions, the authenticity of the Bible? The Anglican Theological Institute is for you. Enroll in a 3-year certificate program. Classes are conducted from NASA and Freeport on Saturday mornings. Don't miss a class. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with high-speed internet. Contact us at 603-2481. Visit our Facebook page. Pick up an application form at any Anglican church or at Addington House on Sands Road. The Anglican Theological Institute is for you.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. So in case you haven't noticed, school is back in session. So now it's time for students to register for the Junior Achievement Program. And the leading youth development program here in the Bahamas for over 40 years. Don't forget that. I was a part of JA. It was very instrumental to my graduation year in high school back in 2001. And here to talk to us about that today are Crisel Dean, Program Manager, and Jasmine Joseph, Assistant Program Manager for JA. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. And good morning, Bahamas.
Yes. So JA, like I said, I was in JA in 2001. The name of my JA group was Profile. And you're watching, big up Profile. You know, we made some great fruit cakes. I don't know how many we sold, but I know I ate enough of them.
It wasn't that great then.
It was good enough. It was good enough, right?
You got paid out.
Yeah, hey, sorry, you know, I'm sure nobody's making fruit cakes now because of us. So tell us about JA's orientation and registration that's coming up.
The Junior Achievement Orientation is this coming Saturday, the 28th of September, from 9:30 to 3 p.m. at St. John's College. And we are inviting all schools, all students from every school, this is for the grade levels 10 through 12, to be there, to come and register, to be a part of Junior Achievement, which is the leading youth organization in the Bahamas. And like you said earlier, we celebrate 40 years just Wednesday passed, and so we're doing bigger and greater things moving forward. Jazz, would you like to add to that?
Okay, so the process for Saturday is you'll go to your school guidance department, you'll get a registration and orientation application. You would fill that form out in its entirety. All signatures are required, that being guidance counselor, your parent, and your signature. You'll bring that form to registration along with a $20 registration fee. You would present that application to an Aspire program or a company program. We have 10 different counseling firms, those being
Bahama, BOB, BTC, BPL, Commonwealth Bank, Deloitte, KPMG, NIB, PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, and also Sunshine Financial. And we would like to say thank you to all of them and all of those who will be joining us for the next JA year for the work that they're doing. I mean, it's a great way to give and to give to our young people. So they're helping to build this nation through what they're doing, and we need it. So don't be shy. You can sponsor us in other areas that we have as well.
Yeah, JA, I've made a lot of friends through JA that now I see around the society and different roles and functions. I know JA is predominantly teaching life skills in the form of business, financial literacy. And I remember when we did our little fruitcake session that there were those they wanted to handle the numbers, there were those who wanted to sell, those who wanted to market. And you find a lot of those personalities manifested today into their profession and career.
Yeah, JA has made a great impact on a lot of lives. It's made an impact on mine, and I have been in, it's 39 years that I've been in JA, and I always admire, and I have to say thanks to Franklin Wilson, because he had the foresight to bring that here and that organization here, and it has impacted my life so much so that, you know, I always know that I didn't want to work for anyone, and I'm not the only one. There's a plethora of other students who passed through this organization and whose life it has impacted positively. And so we are continuing that trend because it's necessary. So we teach JA is about teaching you about entrepreneurship, work readiness, and financial literacy. So those are the 3 pillars that we speak to. And if I may add, we're now not only doing it for grades 10 to 12. JA is now from the elementary level, K4 to grade 6, and then we have JA for juniors, which is grades 7 to 9.
So I can start my 5-year-old on his own, his entrepreneurial track?
And it's amazing how they can, the concept, because we provide all the kits. So all we ask for these, what we call our club program, is not the traditional company program. We just ask for the volunteers' time and the students. We provide everything.
I'm sure it's very exciting for the kids getting them together to run their own little programs. So we've heard about some of the programs, but tell us about JA Cares and your Hurricane Dorian initiative.
Well, historically, JA has presented a charitable organization with a check to assist with their costs. But this year, we decided to take a different initiative. We wanted to give back to the community ourselves. We planned on giving care packages to those in need, care and food packages. But in light of Hurricane Dorian and the devastation to Grand Bahama and Abaco, we decided to start our initiative a bit early. So this year, we partnered with our countries, because JA is an organization worldwide. So we're getting assistance from Jamaica, Canada, JA Americas. They're sending packages here, and we're packing the stuff and going out to, I think last week we went to Fox Hill Community Center. So we're giving packages, giving back to the community.
We love that. We love that JA is teaching us and giving back.
Yeah.
So you mentioned some of your corporate sponsors, but I want to go back to how JA has changed since I would have been there in 2001. And what are the type of people that should join JA right now?
Well, you know, every student, if you have the desire that you want to learn about business, you want to learn something new, you want to make a difference, Junior Achievement is the program for you to be a part of. And at the time that you would have been and I would have been, there was a requirement of a GPA of 2.4, and we're not really holding anyone to that. My thing is this, my belief is this, Mr. Daniels. When you do that, you ostracize some really great minds, okay? And so not everyone is academically inclined, but you have people who are talented. And so we don't want to ostracize those persons, so come, and we have the Aspire program where there's no GPA required. So anyone who can think, who want to conduct themselves properly, we are here for you and you're willing to learn.
We love that. So remind us one more time before we head out about your orientation and registration, and why should the Bahamian public sign up for JA this year?
Okay. Well, like I said, we have the 2 programs, Aspire and Company. The Aspire program is not as demanding as the Company program. It isn't as busy, but you still learn business concepts and operating a business.
And registration is this Saturday?
This Saturday.
Time?
9 a.m.
Where?
At St. John's College.
All right.
Be on time.
Bring your $20.
Bring your $20 flat, not $19.99.
No, $20, because they get a shirt with that as well.
Good.
Yeah.
Chriselle Dean and Jasmine Joseph, thank you for coming and talk to us about
Thank you
JA.
for having us.
The leading youth development program for over 40 years in the Bahamas.
The substantive leading youth development program.
Thank you again
Thank
for coming
you.
on Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Wait, that's Omar Little from The Wire. You think everyone is Omar from The Wire?
Wow, it's really nice to meet a fan.
It's like he's right here.
I telling you he's being all type shows and stuff?
And you know, Rev Go Play plays a lot of good movies and TV shows.
Excuse me, can't you see we're watching something else? Rude.
Settle all your pop culture disputes with Rev Go Play. Watch, record, and stream all your favorite shows wherever you are. Free for all Rev TV subscribers. Rev, you and us together.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on Bahamas at Sunrise. We've got more to come this morning. Very happy to be talking about the Bahamas High School Diploma, which was implemented in 2014 to increase the number of high school graduates in the Bahamas. Currently, only 46% of students who leave high school qualify for a diploma. So here to tell us more about the new program that they've implemented, we're very happy to welcome Keishan El-Bastian. She's the Assistant Director of Education in the Career and Technical Education Department. Good morning, Ms. Bastian, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you.
A pleasure to have you with us this morning. We always love when the Ministry of Education comes because it's such a critical part of shifting our culture and shifting our future as we focus on the education of our young people. And today we're talking about this idea of graduates.
Right.
So when I say 46%, people may be like, what are you talking about? I go to high school graduations every year and I see mass numbers of students leaving.
Mass numbers.
But there's a difference between a leaver and a graduate.
Yes.
What is that?
We have a program in place where students are able to leave school. What you want to do is you want to ensure that when students come out of high school, there's something to tell an employer that the child has been to school for 12 years and completed 12 years. While some students will not get the academic credentials, this speaks to their ability to show up, to be on time, to adhere to certain standards and regulations, and so they'll get what we call a leaving certificate. It used to be. Now it's called a certificate of attendance or a certificate of achievement. The high school diploma came about to ensure that across the country, when we say a student has graduated, they've met the standardized criteria of the Bahamas. And so schools will still give their individual diplomas, but as a country, as most developed nations now do have, there's a national diploma that speaks to a national standard. So if a child is in Grand Bahama or in Nagua, they're required to meet the same standard for a national diploma as opposed to varying levels of school standards.
And you know, I've never thought about leaving certificate from that perspective of the employer. And so this is good that you're bringing this information to us. So we have a certificate of attendance. The child did come here. We can attest to that. And then we also have a standard that says this child has met some criteria that is relevant to all children in the country. Okay, so this makes sense. And then what does that criteria look like to earn that diploma?
It's all encompassing. It's an exciting time in education because the diploma came on stream in 2014. So students started satisfying the criteria in 14. We had our first cohort of graduates in 2017. We had a first national ceremony at the National Stadium which celebrated excellence in our children. So the diploma comes in two parts. There is the criteria of the diploma itself, which speaks to BJCs, academic and non-academic. For BJCs, a D or better. Some persons get in a hissy fit about the 4 Ds, math, language, science, and a social science. We said a D because in the Bahamas we mark on a 7-point scale, and the middle of that scale is a D. And so D is considered the pass. Now, during the school term, they would have to maintain a C average or 56%. Question again, why the C, why the D? We wanted to start the diploma initiative at a place where students felt and parents felt as a new initiative they could attain that criteria. So it's for BJCs, 20 hours of community service. We want to teach the children how to give back. 30 hours of job readiness training. Industry has said to us that the children are coming in academically prepared. Interpersonal skills need development. So we've put in 30 hours of job readiness training, 2.0 GPA minimum. We've also said that they must have 90% punctuality, 90% attendance. That is critical. And so those are in a nutshell. And then 27 credits, which means every subject that they take during the school year, they should pass. Parents have been having a little difficulty wrapping themselves around it initially, but now they're understanding the value of it because it's pushing the children to be in a better place for employment once they would have left high school.
Yeah, no, and that makes sense, right? Because you have to be on time for your job.
Yep, you have to.
Are there repercussions for that?
Definitely so.
And you need to show up. When you said you're going to show up, again, there are repercussions for that. And certainly we want our children to have an understanding of math and language, which will always matter, right? No matter where you go. And so, I'm happy that you had to break it down for us because there were some things I did not fully understand about it, but I think that's quite clear. And certainly I guess people get upset about this idea that C and D might be a grade too low, but in reality we have to be able to meet people where they are and continue to propel them forward.
But what we say to parents too, it's the minimum standard. Every parent is the first leader in a child's life. You set the standard in your house. And so the Ministry of Education has taken a position that we're going to set a minimum standard. What is the standard in your house as a parent? What are you pushing your children to aspire to? So we're setting a baseline and we're challenging parents to meet us halfway and increase or challenge their children to go beyond the baseline.
What are some of the challenges, though, that you've seen from the student side of this? Because certainly we spoke about the fact that parents need to be the pushers in this. But what have students been, the response been like? Have there been things that you guys have kind of wished that you could tweak or notice that you wish that you would continue to work on?
We've identified over the course of the program that many students did not make it in June, meaning that you pre-qualify to earn a diploma if by grade 12 you're in possession of your 4 BJCs.
Right.
We recognize that some students don't have it by grade 12, so their cutoff would have been June of grade 11.
Okay.
We then recognized that we had students leaving school in grade 12 because they felt, what's the point of staying? I'm not going to get a diploma anyway. I'm going to just drop out and go work.
Oh, wow.
And so we changed that. So now you can take your BJCs up to grade 12.
Okay.
So at August of grade 12, once the BJC results come out, then you'll get your diploma.
Okay.
We recognize too that parents hear about it, but it's not really relevant or important until grade 12.
Okay.
And so we've had campaigning initiatives where we've gone into the schools, we've asked schools to meet with parents, we've spoken with parents, we've said to them, we've put up billboards, we had time on your show previously where we've been trying to sensitize parents as to what the diploma is, what's expected of the children, and how they are expected to meet us halfway. That would be the biggest thing.
Okay, okay. And have you seen improvements in the graduation
Oh,
rates?
definitely.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you said 46% coming in. We're at 59.3.
Hello.
Just under 60, yes. So
Okay.
we've improved. A good thing is we've pulled in more private schools. And so in the beginning, we had the independent schools in. We've seen an increase in independent schools in New Providence and the Family Islands. And so now we have more independent schools coming in. And so it's not just a diploma for public schools. Private institutions are still giving their diplomas, but they're also supplementing their diplomas with ours.
Excellent.
And we have a certificate of excellence, which is for all of we didn't want to dumb down anything, so all of the students that are able to earn a 3.0 are able to be in 3 leadership activities or extracurricular activities, have taken their SAT or ACT exam, which are college readiness exams, in grade 11, or gotten 3 BGCSEs with a C or above in grade 11. We give them what we call a certificate of excellence and induct them into an honor society.
Wow.
So we're trying to push them, wherever you are, it's designed to meet you.
That's phenomenal. And so I'm happy to see that. And I think as you guys continue to come back and talk with us, we'll continue to see these improvements move along the way. And that's why it's so important that you start with something, right?
You start
that bare
somewhere,
minimum,
yes.
and then you just continue to see the system grow.
Correct.
Congratulations to
Thank
you and
you.
the ministry team. And thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
So who really own the Nassau Container Port?
Boss, that's easy. The government.
I do.
I do.
Thank you.
I do.
I do. And one day, he will too.
I do. Knock knock.
Here at the Nassau Container Port, we've diversified our ownership to give hardworking Bahamians a piece of the economic pie. And we'll continue to grow so that we can give you a consistent return on your investment. That's our promise.
I started in 1974 with the first-born Bahamian principal, Dr. John Knowles. I got a call from Ms. Linda Burrows at the Ministry of Education, and she said, Mary, how would you like to work at the College of the Bahamas, because we're bringing the college into existence? So I said yes. I am overjoyed because I've made it to the university. That was something to be proud about, because I've seen all the changes from college to university. We can compare ourselves with any university. From day one, from we started, the standard was so great. I am Mary Major Russell, and this is my UB.
Apply today at www.ub.edu.bs.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point on this Marvelous Monday.
Marvelous Monday with Mark.
I see what you did there. Marvelous Monday with Mark. Before we go any further, I want to wish a very, very special happy birthday to Sonia Forbes. Sonia, of course, is the sister of our very own Joan Aubrey. Sonia has been an instrumental part of everything happening here at the Counselors, even Bahamas at Sunrise. And so, Sonia, we wish you a very, very happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Maybe the best one yet. And my little girl also celebrates her birthday this week, Thursday.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, Queen Cairo turns 2 on Thursday. So, Mommy wishes you a very, very happy birthday, little lady.
Just 2? She's not 18 yet?
She acts like she's 25.
I know,
but,
right?
you know, outside of that, we still got more to come in the second half.
Yeah, and you know, she might almost be old enough to join JA because now they have their elementary school programs, which I think is awesome. You know, teaching children financial literacy and entrepreneurial skills, I think is fantastic.
No, I think it's really important, and you can do that from so early on.
Yeah.
And some of like the young people that I've seen that have done extraordinarily well, especially like this new generations of, they're not millennials because they're something else. I think they're called Gen Z.
Yeah, I can't
But
keep
they some of them have already had businesses since they were like 13, right? They're selling lollipops globally, or they're making ties and socks, and so there are these really cool opportunities for young people, even from a very early age, to get involved in the entrepreneurship game.
And it's never too late. So when I start my business,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be in a traffic light selling flavored peanuts. 'Cause, you know, you all just have salted, unsalted, light, and dark, and you have flavored peanuts.
I with you, bruh.
That's my business.
Just put some sriracha in there.
There you go.
Boom. And I
like
with
that
you.
one.
I'm going to buy some peanuts from Mark,
You
eh?
get some shares in it.
Still to come in the second half of the show, we're going to be chatting with Sickle Cell Bahamas. They're here to join us. And Sapadilla's also back.
Yes, I hope they brought food.
I hope so too. I didn't see any up there, but I'm hoping for the best.
All right.
Before we get to any of that, I'm going to take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Stan. Good morning, Bahamas. Our second look at weather sunrise to trip around the tropics. We have 3 systems this morning. I'm going to start off with Tropical Storm Jerry. And at 5 a.m. this morning, Jerry was located in latitude 27.8 degrees north, longitude 67.6 degrees west, some 55 miles to the south-southwest of Bermuda. Is moving to the north-northwest at 10 miles per hour. A turn to the north is expected tonight. Winds are now 65 miles per hour, but gradual weakening is expected over the next 5 days. Then we have Tropical Storm Karen. At 5 a.m. this morning, Karen was located in latitude 13.6 degrees north, longitude 63.9 degrees west, some 180 miles west of the St. Vincent. Is moving towards the northwest at 8 miles per hour. A more northerly turn is expected on Tuesday. Winds are now 40 miles per hour with some fluctuation. Strong upper level winds will keep this at a tropical storm over the next several days. This is the one that we should watch over the next several days into the weekend as it moves towards the north. But high pressure in the north may cause this to move towards the west, but we're going to be waiting, and we have the big question mark will go on Thursday or Friday. Then on number 3 is Tropical Depression number 13, some 365 miles southeast of the northernmost Cabo Verde Islands, moving towards the west at 16 miles per hour. Winds in this system are 35 miles per hour. Elsewhere, tropical storm formation expected during the next 5 days. On the local scene, troughing across the central Bahamas will trigger pockets of showers and thunderstorms, while to the north of the islands, a high pressure will build across the islands, and that will improve our weather across the northwest Bahamas over the next several days. But we do have special warning out, and that continues for moderate to large swells across the islands, and so beachgoers and the boaters are asked to exercise extreme caution for hazardous sea conditions, rough surfs, and rip currents. These will start subsiding over the next 48 hours. In your marine forecast, winds will blow north and northeast at 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet over the northwest and central Bahamas, variable at 10 knots or less, seas less than 3 feet over the southeastern islands. Those winds continue north and northeast at 15 knots, 2 to 5 feet on northwest and central Bahamas, variable at 10 knots or less, seas less than 3 feet over the southeast Bahamas on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, those winds become northeast at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet over the northwest and central Bahamas, continuing variable at 10 knots or less, seas less than 3 feet over the southeastern islands. Your tides. You can expect a low tide at 8:04 this morning. Next high tide at 2:36 this afternoon. Low again tonight at 9 minutes past 9. Sunset 7:03 this evening. Rise is at 6:59. UV index 9, your water temperature 86 degrees Fahrenheit, honeymoon phase, last moon. And as we enter this week, we're looking at partly sunny skies, most of the part with some cloudy skies with central and southeast Bahamas with a couple of showers and thunderstorms. Those temperatures daytime will be in the upper 80s to low 90s at daytime and the upper 70s at nighttime. That puts you up in your final look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Godfrey. September is World Sickle Cell Awareness Month, which helps to increase public awareness and knowledge about the sickle cell disease around the world. Here to tell us more are Kayla Smith, President of the Bahamas Sickle Cell Association, and Decrizia Thompson Bartlett, BSCA member. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for coming on the show to talk about this disease and just to spread more information. I'm happy that World Sickle Cell Awareness Month is going on. You know, as we mentioned earlier, when I was in primary school, I had at least one or two friends who had the disease, and it was always a scary disease for persons that may not be familiar with it, because you can see the physical manifestations of it. You know, it's a painful disease. And so I'm happy that this month is going on. I'm happy to have you here with us. So tell us a little bit about your organization.
Well, the Bahamas Sickle Cell Association was formed in 1974 by Dr. Patrick Roberts, and for many years it was vibrant, and then it had a lull. So it was revamped in 2015 by Dr. Nishan Brister. I'm the fourth president, Kayla Smith Mortimer, and we're proud that we're now going out more into the communities to educate the populace about this disease. Like you said, you had school friends, and so those are the areas we're really trying to target is school-age children, teachers, that profession, and just the general public to know what the disease is all about. So knowing your status is the most important thing at this moment. It's predominantly a black disease, and so many people don't know they carry the gene, and you have to be tested for that gene by having a blood test called electrophoresis. So not just going into a doctor's office and having a standardized test will tell you if you carry the gene or not, but you have to be specific about the testing. And once you know you have that gene, then you have to take further steps to make sure if you're going to have children, if it's with somebody who has the gene, then you know you have 25% of having a child born with the disease. If not, it's just knowing that you have this disease and it's going to go throughout your family, and genetically people brown and black are the ones that have the disease. And so we're really trying to educate persons about it. 300,000 persons are born with this disease globally, and by 2050, 450,000 will be born with the disease. So it's going to increase, and if you know your status, then that's the most important part of the disease.
So what is life like living with the disease? Can it be managed? Give us a little more information.
I definitely think it can be managed. Right now I'm 24 years old, and I was diagnosed with sickle cell anemia at the age of 3. Now I would tell you when I was younger I was unaware of how to manage it or things to do on my own, but my mother, she was very cautious and she read a lot. She just dove into the disease. So when I became maybe like around the age of 10, 11, I would understand what to do a little bit better. And from the span of maybe 5 to 10, I was hospitalized so many times. I had my gallbladder removed when I was around 9. Yes. So between that time I was hospitalized maybe 100 times. But when I understood what sickle cell was, how to manage it, I am like unstoppable. So I live a fairly normal life. I know what signs to look out for, how to prevent a crisis, and doing that and being knowledgeable about that helps me live my best life.
Is it a lethal disease? Do people die directly from sickle cell anemia?
Well, yes, you can die directly from sickle cell disease. You can die from birth. It's a disease you have from the day you're born, and you can't exchange it. And so we've had persons die from babies throughout their teenage life, young life, adult life. But education is key in every aspect, because if you know more about your disease, you know how to prevent certain crises, you know what to look for when you're having an acute chest syndrome, a crisis in the lungs. And so with sickle cell, you can have a crisis anywhere blood flows, to the bone, to the heart, to the limbs. And so you understanding before and after how to take care of yourself is key. And those who provide, like teachers or doctors, making sure that they're educated about the disease, because not all doctors know a lot about the disease. So you have to be very specific on who you see.
And I know you mentioned that the numbers worldwide, but in terms of gathering an idea of the numbers here, does the association plan to have like a national registry that people can voluntarily sign up for? Anything along that line, so we can know within our demographic what's...
Right. We're working hard towards that, and we have an application that's online for persons in the Bahamas to complete if they have the trait or if they have the disease, so we can know how much people we have with the disease, because we don't have a definite number, and that is increasing daily, because I'm getting calls daily about persons who have just found out that they have the disease, or somebody who just went into crisis. And so we want to be able to have accurate numbers here in the Bahamas.
And where can persons find that information or find that form online?
Well, we're online. We have our website, Bahamas Sickle Cell. It's on the World Wide Web. And then we're on Facebook, and we're on Instagram. Our email address is bahamassicklecell@gmail.com. They can contact me at 802-1450. Our office is located on Danes Lane. That's where we meet, at Dr. Patrick's office. But anybody who can call me, reach out to us. We're willing to send them the link so they can fill that out.
And what about persons who might be willing to help, corporate sponsors, private sponsors, volunteers? Does the association need help, and how can persons assist you guys?
Yes, we need help financially. We need volunteers. We visit persons in hospital weekly, so we need volunteers, people who might have a few hours to spare to go with us, to encourage those who are in hospital, because your hospital visit could be anywhere from a day to several months, even up to a year, depending on what kind of crisis you are having. But we really want financial donations, volunteers, whatever you're able to give as a corporate citizen or just as a citizen, we'll be willing to take it, no matter how small it is.
That's awesome. We are celebrating the World Sickle Cell Awareness Month. It's September. I know that we had Hurricane Dorian. You had some activities planned. But we thank you for coming on the show today and telling us about the association, giving us some information about the disease and how the public can assist. So come on out and assist. The Bahamas Sickle Cell Association needs your help, whether it is in time, talent, or in money.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us this morning, Kayla Smith and Decrizia Bartlett. We'll be right back on Bahamas at Sunrise.
This is Eddie, and Eddie's a change counter. This is Sean. Sean doesn't have to count change because when Sean purchases a plan with Alive, it's VAT inclusive. Keep things simple, just like Alive's all-new VAT-inclusive prepaid plans with more talk, more text, and even more data. So don't be an Eddie. Freedom simplified. Alive. Believe in best.
We get up early every morning to offer safe and dependable service. Where quality service is paramount. An excellent travel experience is priority. Connecting the islands of the Bahamas to the world. Bahamas Air. We don't just fly here, we live here.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Well, we promised you that we'd be talking about Gilgan Holdings this morning. You know, that's our Bahamian favorite. I don't know if we can make it a national dish. I don't know if a company can become a national company. But certainly Bamboo Shack, it belongs to this group here, as well as Sapadilla and Frankie Gone Bananas. And you know the next lady I'm about to talk to because she's always here whenever I'm not. So it's always a pleasure to have her here. When I am here, I'm talking about the one and only Gandhi Pinder, who joins us this morning to talk about the latest happening at Gilgan Holdings. Good morning, Gandhi, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Hi, top of the morning star. Welcome back. You have a Bali glow.
I do have a Bali glow. It's a pleasure to be back, Gandhi, and I missed the show and I missed being here. So it's a wonderful time that I had, and now I'm back to work.
Happy pre-birthday to Cairo.
Yeah, Mama's. I'm gonna have to bring Mama to Bamboo Shack, man.
I'm serious. I mean, no, you know, Cairo does her Sapadilla thing.
No, but you know she's a Sapadilla girl now. From before she could talk, she was a Sapadilla.
Thank you very much. And happy birthday to JD Stewart.
Yeah,
we hosted, right? We need our own segment, Bahamas at Sunrise. Girl power one day we should take over.
Yeah, no, for real. We're going to make that a thing.
Yes.
I made you do it.
But Gilligan Company Limited, so many exciting things are happening. And, you know, right now we are doing our part to help to provide hurricane relief to those who went through that traumatic experience of Dorian. And we're just so proud of the people who are so resilient. So at this point, I guess we want to make an appeal to everyone out there. October is Heroes Month. We are saluting and celebrating our heroes of the Bahamas, because it's more than just people who were born here who are helping to make a difference. And we see the jet ski heroes. We see those people who are just going to rescue people. And we see people sticking it out and surviving. And then we even have those people who are battling their own Category 5 storms. So what we want people to do is, if you have a photo of someone in action or a video of someone in action, please send it to us. Heroes at bambooshack242.com. And we just really want to celebrate them, highlight them, feature them, and just, you know, just blast them everywhere. And you can use the hashtag Bahamas Superhero. Message us on social media at bambooshack242. But it's something that we really, really want to do.
That's awesome, Gandhi. I think we've seen that spirit of heroism really come through in this time. And, just a spirit of love as well and community that we've seen from the international world and then people here locally. And so that's amazing.
And it's overwhelming, right? And you're a Grand Bahama girl. And so we feel it for our people. And the other day, I just realized I was in shock. You know, and it's like, what can we do? And at the same time, too, Gilligan Company Limited, we are here to provide experiences. So as people kind of navigate through this challenging time and we hope to find some degree of normalcy, we want people to have their favorite dish. We want to give them something new. We want Sapadilla to open with a bang after being closed and move into Lobster Fest for people to enjoy, right? Chef, who I must say really wishes he could be here this morning. Chef is now our Director of Quality Control for Gilligan Company Limited. So Bamboo Shack, Bamboo Grill House, Bamboo Miami, Frankie Gone Bananas. Frankie's over there in the Marina Village at Atlantis, and also Sapadilla Fine Dining.
Congratulations, Chef. Big things have won.
So, yeah, and so we have those things coming up, and people are still getting married. And, you know, life goes on, but we still have to be mindful of,
of those who are still continuing to struggle.
Absolutely.
Now, what has been happening lately with Bamboo Shack? Because Bamboo Grill House opened out Cable Beach, and you guys hadn't come on to talk about it. But, you know, I'm an out west girl, so I happened to be driving past one day, and I was like, oh my God, they finally put Bamboo
You've been there. Yeah, you've been there.
You know, that's my spot.
Lots of things, and there's always something new, and the CEO is, you know, we just really wanted to be in line with the mandate of everything to have a healthy alternative, move towards being biodegradable, which we started in about 2017, and now the people are finally catching on to it.
People are still upset about not the plate in the bag, but
we have the honey glazed salmon, the gourmet burgers, and so we really have a good team at Bamboo Grill House. Bamboo Shack, we have our breakfast shack, and for those who visit us every day, we're just across the street. Until further notice, they're doing some renovations over there, so you could get your favorite bamboo breakfast. Frankie Gone Bananas, this is the season of renovation and rebuilding. And so that's what we're doing. And then at Sapadilla, you know, we were having our cognac and cigars, the signature event. And so, of course, we had to postpone that. So November 1st is the new date. So we're asking people to save the date. And it's just going to be a wonderful time. We're partnering with Grey Cliff Cigars and Burns House with Remy. So they're going to be those pairings. Our native show is coming on board soon. It's called Junkanu Rumba. And so it's something for tourists and locals and everybody to enjoy. And so there's going to be fire dancing, and we're going to give a little taste of that at our cognac and cigar event.
Excellent, excellent. Now, Gandhi, you also guys are updating the menu somewhat, right? So that when you open in October, there'll be some new dishes for us to enjoy at Sapadilla.
There will be some new dishes, but then we're still holding true or Chef has decided to keep the classics and those dishes that people always continue to come back for. When they say, I want to live the Sapodilla experience, this dish has to be on the menu, but I think you will be pleasantly surprised.
As to what's
so
happening.
Please be our guest,
Well,
you
know,
and Carlo.
You know we love Sapodilla now. That's one thing you guys can count on religiously, that we will always support Sapodilla, because I support the vision and the company as itself. And I think you guys stand as an example of what we can become as corporate citizens that are excellent corporate citizens in what you give back and what you contribute, but also just the excellence as Bahamians, man. You guys impress me every time.
We
and
do
so
believe that a
it's
better
joy.
Bahamas begins with you, and appointing Chef as Director of Quality Control is just another example of our commitment to that excellence. You know, Chef has decorated our CEO, Ms. Elaine Pinder. I tell her she needs to open up an Academy of Excellence.
She should.
Because she sees and feels things like no one else can, and she knows when it's time to shift, and she knows when it's time to, and she really helped to pioneer and lead the way in a lot of things, but still paying tribute to those who have come before.
Yeah, well, Gandhi, I'm so grateful that you joined us, and I want to remind people again about the way that they can help to join in, like the celebration of excellence by honoring our heroes.
Yes.
So that's, if you want to send an email to you guys, that is hero@bambooshack242.com.
Yes.
Or if you want to tag you guys on social media, give me all your handles, because people need to know what's
Yeah,
happening
so
everywhere.
Bamboo Shack 242. Of course, we have Sapodilla Restaurant, and then we have Frankie Gone Bananas on Instagram. It's Frankie G Bananas. So if you look up any of the companies, you should be able to find us. Even if you Google us, we try to make it pretty easy.
Okay.
But we are taking reservations for Sapodilla and Potilla. You know, when we first come back, we're pretty much booked up, and then we're booked right into
Christmas,
February.
Wow.
Into next year. So that's 327-2161. And of course, www.sapodillabahamas.com. Join us and live the experience.
Live the experience, always a wonderful experience. Candy, thank you so much for joining with us this morning.
Thank you for being so awesome. It's so good to see you. I say, y'all give me the awesome task of filling in for stars, and anyways, I'll try.
You do an excellent, excellent job. And it was always a pleasure to have Gandhi with us. Remember, you can make those reservations now for Sapodilla. They're reopening that first week in October, so you want to be there. And always, 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 Bamboo Shack is available to take care of those good down-home cooking needs. We're going to be back with more after this commercial break.
How are we making Rev work wonders for you? We are doing it together. You told us what you want, and we've heard you. Want faster broadband? How about speeds up to 1 gigabit per second? Want shorter house calls? 2 hours max. We promise. Want to take your entertainment anywhere? Well, your Rev Go Play app is here. Rev, we've heard you. You speak, we listen. Rev, you and us together.
One thing, two things, little thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right into the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Well, that's going to do it for us, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in today.
It's over?
It's over, Mark.
I want to go. We're doing another show. Let's go. I interviewing everybody. Let's go. We can get Shelly. We can get Joan in here. We bringing everybody in here because the show cannot end yet.
Gandhi,
it's
come,
still
Gandhi.
a marvelous
Come, Gandhi.
Come, we can interview Gandhi again.
Come, Gandhi. Gandhi, come, Gandhi. Come to George.
We can interview her again.
I don't know. We got to sit up.
There you go.
Gandhi, sit right there in the middle. There you go.
You gotta be in the middle lane.
All right, guys.
That's okay.
Gandhi
That's
joined
right.
us.
That's true.
Are we on?
We are on
We
right
are
now.
on.
We're saying bye.
We're saying bye to everybody.
Listen, we got to be back with more on Friday. I don't know if Mark and Gandhi are going to join us then. Maybe we become a show of 4 and it becomes like The View. But Phil and I will definitely see you then. And we guys make it a wonderful week. Bye.
See ya. Bye.